They told him he was different. They told him he couldn't focus. They told him he'd never sit still long enough to become great. And for a while, the world was right. Michael Phelps wasn't born a champion. He wasn't born disciplined. He wasn't born confident. He wasn't even born calm. He was a kid with too much energy, too many distractions, too many doubts, and a mind that never stopped racing. ADD, restless, unfocused, average on the surface, invisible to most people. But here's what nobody tells you. Greatness doesn't start when the world believes in you. Greatness starts when you're willing to suffer in silence. Swimming wasn't glamorous. It wasn't applause. It wasn't fame. It was early mornings when the sun wasn't up yet. It was cold water cutting into his skin. It was endless laps when his body screamed to stop. While other kids slept, he swam. While other kids played, he trained. While other kids complained, he kept moving. And listen carefully, this matters. He didn't feel motivated every day. He didn't feel confident every day. He didn't wake up feeling like a legend. He woke up feeling tired. He woke up feeling sore. He woke up feeling human. But he showed up anyway, day after day, week after week, year after year. That's the part people skip when they talk about success. You see the medals, you see the highlights, you see the podium, you don't see the loneliness, you don't see the sacrifices, you don't see the days he wanted to quit. Michael Phelps trained 6 hours a day, 6 days a week, for years. No shortcuts, no excuses, no magic formula, just brutal consistency, just discipline when motivation disappeared. And here's the truth that might hit you hard. He wasn't special because he won medals. He won medals because he did what others refused to do. Let that sink in. When you're tired, that's when champions are built. When you're bored, that's when separation happens. When nobody is watching, that's when legacies are formed. Phelps didn't chase motivation. He built habits so strong that motivation didn't matter. And then the world started noticing. Records began to fall. Races were won by margins people had never seen. History was rewritten in front of millions of eyes. Gold after gold, victory after victory. The greatest Olympian of all time. But don't get it twisted. Even at the top, he struggled. After the medals, after the fame, after the applause, he fell into darkness, depression, emptiness. A question that scares most people to death: who am I without the win? Because nobody warned you about this part either. Success doesn't protect you from pain. Greatness doesn't make you invincible. Winning doesn't heal everything inside. And yet he came back again, not just to swim, not just to win, but to prove something deeper. That discipline saves you. That purpose grounds you. That staying in the fight matters. Here's your first wake-up call. If Michael Phelps can wake up every day, exhausted, hurting, doubting, and still do the work, what excuse are you holding on to? You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need talent handed to you. You don't need permission. You need decision. A decision to stop negotiating with weakness, a decision to stop waiting for confidence, a decision to become dangerous through discipline because motivation fades, feelings lie, comfort destroys potential. There were days Phelps swam even when his goggles filled with water. He swam blind. He trusted the process so deeply that even when things went wrong, he didn't panic, he didn't stop, he didn't hesitate. And that's not just swimming advice, that's life. When things go wrong, do you freeze? Do you panic? Do you quit? Or do you trust the work you've put in? Midway through his career, he didn't suddenly become great. He became relentless. He became obsessed with improvement. 1% better, one more lap, one more sacrifice. Let me say this clearly. If you are waiting to feel ready, you will wait forever. If you are waiting for confidence, it will never come. Confidence is built after action, not before it. Here's the second hope. Listen close. You are closer than you think, but comfort is keeping you blind. Every time you choose sleep over discipline, every time you choose excuses over effort, every time you choose fear over action, you delay the version of you that could change everything. Michael Phelps didn't become the greatest swimmer because he believed he was the best. He became the best because he trained like someone who refused to lose. There's a difference. Belief without action is fantasy. Action without belief becomes belief. And now this question is unavoidable. If he can do it with pressure, with expectations, with pain, with failure, why not you? You don't need to be a swimmer. You don't need to be an athlete. You don't need Olympic dreams. You need Olympic standards. Standards for your work. Standards for your habits. Standards for how you show up when nobody is clapping. Because greatness is lonely. And most people quit because they can't stand being alone with the work. Phelps embraced it. He embraced repetition. He embraced discomfort. He embraced the grind. And that's why history remembers his name. So here's your moment. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not when things feel right. Right now. Decide who you're becoming. Decide what you're willing to sacrifice. Decide that excuses no longer run your life. Because talent is common, potential is everywhere, but discipline is rare, and discipline is what turns ordinary people into legends. Michael Phelps didn't win because he was lucky. He didn't win because life was easy. He won because he refused to quit when quitting felt justified. And here's the final truth: no hype, no exaggeration. If someone else did it with hard work, pain, and persistence, then it's possible for you too. Not guaranteed, not easy, but possible. And possible is all you need.